Last question I have here, Phil, for you from a user is, am I able to modify the warm up and recovery periods within the Sprint 8 program?
If you're on a piece of equipment, there's just no need. I mean, we've got a very adequate warm up of 3 minutes. And what you see is, and we've tracked this for years, you see a progressive rise in body temperature, your heart rate's going up to get ready for a hard work, to get it in work mode. That's what we're trying to do before the first sprint. And so you want a little bit of a cool down at the end, but we've kept it at 20 minutes, which meets the American College Sports Medicine guidelines for how long you should do anaerobic exercise with that concept. And you want to definitely keep 30 seconds or less. Now, some modalities like the Matrix S, for example, it's impossible to go 30 seconds. You just can't do it. Somewhere around 15 seconds, if you're doing it correctly, your legs start to slow down. 20 seconds when I just did it the other day on the S Force. And it is a tough workout, but you still want to get the minute and a half. But the cardio sprint piece has to be done in 30 seconds or less. So that means you're pacing, not recruiting both types of fast twitch fibers. So it's not actually a cardio sprint. It's really more of a lower intensity interval training.
So it sounds like if someone wants to do the program, do the 3-minute warm up. It's more than enough to get your body kind of warmed up and ready to take on those sprints. And then, as we've mentioned many times, 90 seconds is crucial for your body to recover properly in order to really maximize all of your 8 sprints, or however many sprints that you're currently able to do within your fitness level.
You're exactly right. The only caveat would be for people that are sprint running, it is so intense on your hamstrings. It may take, like Mary Jones, for example, would warm up exactly 45 minutes before she could sprint in a competition. And so it takes a long time to warm up plyometrics if you're actually running it. So actually running sprints where you're taking your whole body weight, you're propelling it 5 feet forward with thrusting it with each step. And two, that makes it a little bit different than a treadmill. So when you look at a treadmill, even though you're sprinting uphill, the belt is coming around for you. So you're towing off, you're towing up and off as the belt comes around. If you're actually sprint running, you're taking that same movement, except with your hamstrings and your glutes, primarily, calves, a lot of things involved, but primarily the reason why hamstrings get pulled is because they're really involved when you take your whole body and propel it forward 5 feet each step very, very fast. And so that's why if you're actually sprint running, you need a longer warm up, but that's not really directed so much as your heart as it is your hamstrings, your muscles, so you don't pull anything. And then even then, people pull hamstrings. And so if you're sprint running, you need to slowly ease into it to build back the fast twitch fiber, get your hamstrings accustomed to it before you can really run full speed. On a treadmill, however, most people can actually do sprint 8 on a treadmill if you're an experienced jogger, because you're going fast but uphill. And because it's uphill, that means you're going slower, and your steps are not as forceful as actually sprint running, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. You have the self-propelled, if a treadmill is propelling your body, it's a little bit less than running on the ground, and the less activation of the muscle.
It's a great workout, and it's, you're not beating your skeleton up. And so that's one great thing about sprinting. And two, I always tell runners the perfect exercise for you is the recumbent cycle. They go, I hate the recumbent. I go, I know, you can sit there and watch a movie in the slow twitch world, not get anything out of it. But in the fast twitch world, the recumbent forces your back. It forces you to work the same muscles that propel the motor running, but you're giving your skeleton a day off. So it's a great way to supplement running without paneling and payment. So if you're a long distance runner, we think we can help you run the rest of your life injury free, but you need to do some training off the street. If you get it all on the street, your skeleton is going to pay a price. If you get some of it on a recumbent cycle or an upright cycle made by Matrix with Sprint 8, where you can see the sweat score that challenge you, to encourage you to get everything you can out of each cardio sprint, that is the greatest thing we can do to help runners not only increase their performance, but also save their skeleton.
Great. That's great advice. And I'm a long distance runner, so that's good advice to me because get off the street and get on the recumbent bike.